What's your favorite scary movie? Be like, I'm dying.
If some guy came up to me and said, "Hey, they guys, I'm like, it's over and done. We're married now."
Someone in the movie, so I'm like, kiss. But
oh God, what a sea of humanity.
Welcome in, everybody, to today's stream. Was that good?
It was good.
Welcome in, everybody, all viewers, and welcome to 52/1994. It's your live movie conversation podcast where we discuss movies from the year 1994. I'm your host, Cody, and I'm joined by my co-host this week, Silent Joe.
What's up,
It would be
Butters?
great if you. It would be great if you just didn't talk the entire time until the very end. Just the very end, and give like a very wise words. So if this is your first time joining us today, welcome in. We're happy for you to join us. Just to give you a little heads up and a background on what we do, we watch 52 movies from the year 1994, or whatever year we're talking about, 1994 this year. Talking about important movies released this year by their monthly categories. We're doing comedies this month, and it doesn't matter if these movies are good or bad. Usually they're somewhere in the middle, and then I have a guest to talk about this movie and interview them and maybe see what they've been watching. And I know Joe's been watching a lot of movies, good or bad. So we'll talk to him about those movies and see what he has to say. But anyway, we're talking about Clerks today, Kevin Smith's Clerks. Joe, have you ever seen this movie before?
So I thought I had, but I guess it was Clerks 2 maybe that I had seen, because I have not seen this before.
You had not seen this one. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you seen
It was
Clerks
very
3?
clear immediately from the black and white that I was like, oh, I haven't seen this.
Well, good. I'm glad that you hadn't watched this before, so you're coming in with a fresh take on it. So this will be
so fresh.
Yeah, so fresh. I'm glad that you haven't seen it. So, first impressions?
It was fine. It was
okay.
It made me laugh quite a bit, which is always great. It kind of felt like that weird spot where, like, and this is a personal preference of mine, I guess. So, just like movies that don't really like have much of a point behind them is not my favorite. We're just seeing these guys working their shitty job and having like a crazy day, which, I mean, it was good and it was funny, but like just overall kind of mid-range for me personally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get talking. We'll talk about it. I'm sure we'll have some scenes that we'll talk about and see. I do know that Spencer in the chat, this is one of his comfort movies.
Oh, nice.
And it is a very, I mean, I have nostalgia for this movie. If you would have watched this movie from 14 to 26, you might have different. Yeah, you might have different feelings about it and more love for it than others. But I definitely see it's kind of the same thing that Ryan and I talked about last week with Renaissance Man is, hey, we both saw this movie when we were young. It really made an impact on us, and we love it, but we also know that it's not a perfect movie. And if you came up to me and said, man, Clerks sucks, I'd be like, okay, we're good. Like, I'm not mad about that at all. You're not hurting my feelings. There are some people out there that love Kevin Smith and praise Kevin Smith for everything that he touches, and good on those people. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. But let's talk about it. So this movie's called Clerks. It came out October 19th, 1994. It was written and directed by Kevin Smith, who a lot of you probably know from either their Jay and Silent Bob movies, who are introduced in this movie, Dogma, Jersey Girl. I'm naming some of the worst ones. Tusk, Red State are some of his most recent ones. And Yeah, Kevin Smith. He's got this whole universe: Mallrats, Chasing Amy. Trying to go through all of them, but he's got this universe that he calls the View Askew universe. And Degrassi, he directed an episode of Degrassi. Spencer must love Kevin Smith. I don't know. Anyway, he's kind of this outsider to Hollywood. He raised like not a lot of money to do this movie. Basically maxed all his credit cards. We've already seen some movies like that. Some filmmakers that have done that, most notably Robert Rodriguez with El Mariachi last year, put together a great action movie that I think a lot of us enjoyed. And then Kevin Smith kind of did the exact same thing here and got his name out there and now he is who he is. And I don't think he's ever changed. That is one thing I like about Kevin Smith is that he got all this fame and everything, and he's still just like a big comic book nerd and out with his friends, and he treats his friends good for helping him get there. And like they even developed a TV show that was just his friends. I don't know if you knew about this TV show. I think it's called Comic Book Guys.
Oh yeah. I do actually remember that.
Yeah.
Comic Book Men, I think it was.
Comic Book Men. Yeah. Comic Book Men. Where they did like pranks on that show and they just talked about nerdy shit on that show. But that's all his friends. It's not even Kevin Smith, but that's all his friends. One who is a character or is the basis for a character in this movie.
Yeah.
So which is great. And he is kind of like that. But anyway, the cast of this movie includes Brian O'Halloran as Dante Hicks, Jeff Anderson as Randall Graves, Marilyn Gigliotti as Veronica Lauren, Lisa Spoonhour as Caitlin Bree, Jason Mewes as Jay, Kevin Smith as Silent Bob. Scott Mosier's in this movie. That's one of his best friends and his production partner. Walt Flanagan's in this. You'll hear his name a lot in Kevin Smith movies. He's in here in various roles. Those are pretty much the main people I'll talk about because there's nobody famous in this movie at all. Anybody that got anything out of this is listed below. The synopsis for this movie is Dante is called in to cover a shift at his New Jersey convenience store on his day off. His friend Randall helps him pass the time, neglecting his video store customers next door to hang out in the quick stop. The uneventful day is disrupted by news that one of Dante's ex-girlfriends has died. After attending her memorial service, Dante muses over staying with current girlfriend Veronica or reuniting with his ex, Caitlin. This movie, like I said, has a very small budget, $27,575.
Dang.
Yeah, which is a lot of money to us. It definitely is. And this movie has a $4.4 million box office. So wow, I would pay $27,000 of my money if I could get guaranteed $4 million.
Heck yeah.
That's quite a return. People love this movie, and especially when it came out, I think. This on Rotten Tomatoes, this has a 90% score. IMDb, it's got a 7.7 out of 10. Letterboxd, it's a 3.8. Roger Ebert loved this movie, gave it 3 out of 4 stars. He said, within the limitations of his bare bones production, Smith shows great invention, a natural feel for human comedy, and a knack for writing weird, sometimes brilliant dialogue. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hal Hinson of the Washington Post did not like this movie. Perhaps Smith and his partner Scott Mosier have revealed a face of America that most of us have refused to acknowledge. And perhaps Clerks is the movie that a nation sustained by TV Guide and Twinkies deserves. And then he says, nah. Yeah.
That's the review?
That's the review.
Wow. How insightful.
Yeah, Hal Hinson hated this movie. Roger, my guy, never misses from
Never
Spencer.
misses.
Notorious hater of Roger Ebert. Anyway, this movie does have quite a legacy. We already kind of mentioned some of the stuff, and maybe you've heard of this, or maybe you have this in your notes as well. This was awarded at Cannes, the 1994 Cannes Movie Festival, or Cannes. Movie Festival. Award of the Youth and the Mercedes-Benz Award. He got the Filmmakers Trophy at Sundance. He was nominated for 3 Independent Spirit Awards. This movie garnered 2 sequels, Clerks 2, Clerks 3. A Clerks cartoon, a failed Clerks television show, regular television show, although the Clerks cartoon was like 6 episodes or so. I would say that the View Askewniverse, like this catapults Kevin Smith to be able to do many things that aren't that great. I've already named off Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, which is great, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, bunch of those little things. And it's like this little universe of like his Red Bank, New Jersey friends and stories around New Jersey and stuff like that. Jay and Silent Bob are their own entity in themselves, they coming from this. So anything else that I might have missed in that like legacy?
No, I think that's did you mention the most recent Jay and Silent Bob movie?
I haven't. No.
Did you see that?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
I think the reboot went. Wait, no, maybe I did see it. I think Jay has a child.
20. What was that? It's been like 3-4 years now, I think. Maybe more.
I think it's about like Jay finding his kid, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I never saw it, so I wasn't sure how it was.
I haven't seen Clerks 3 either, so
I remember seeing the promo for the newest Jay and Silent Bob, and they both looked like really thin, I think.
Well,
Jay and Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith has had a heart attack and has been forced to lose weight and lead a much healthier lifestyle than he was. And Jay, I think, I don't know. I know he's been, kind of in and out of rehab a couple times. I think he's sober, and sober for a few years. They're both dads too. Not that has anything to do with their weight loss or anything, but I think they're just old men now. They're in their late 40s or 50s probably by this point. So, and Jay streams on Twitch. Shout out to Jay.
Oh, nice. Was he streaming?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's done like Fortnite and Call of Duty and things like that before. I don't know. We'll see if he's streaming. I'll raid him.
I hope.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
That would be great. Okay, let's talk about some of the scenes that really stick out that really make the movie. I'll be interested to see what really stuck out for you since this is your first time watching it.
Yeah, it was a little choppy, I felt like there weren't a lot of like longer scenes. But my first thing was kind of like the combination throughout several cuts of the anti-smoking guy, and when Veronica, like we meet Veronica.
that is my first scene too. I have Chuli's gum intro of Veronica. I think this is a good intro to like what Dante goes through for the whole day. Like there's all this stuff coming at him all day long, and it starts with this Chuli's gum, or this guy drinking his coffee and telling everybody that comes in that's getting a pack of cigarettes that they're gonna get cancer and die, and brings out a gross lung, sets that on the counter, and gets him to buy this Chuli's gum. And then we get badass Veronica coming in, grabbing the fire extinguisher and shooting all these people with it and telling them to go home.
The mob, yeah. That was awesome. What a way to make an appearance.
She's great. I think there's also, I think it's a good introduction to Veronica and her character. I think out of the two main women characters in this, I think we get the best of Veronica. Like we get to know her the best, and this is a good introduction to her. Like she comes in, dispels the mob. Obviously she's very protective of Dante and wants the best for him and wants him to get out of this job and go back to school. And everything. And Veronica's great, in my opinion.
Yeah, she did like a whole lot for him, like switched colleges to try to be closer to him and motivate him to stop being such a slacker. And
Only
yeah,
sucked 37 dicks.
only
Only had sex with a
37.
couple guys
That's only 37. We're not even talking triple digits.
in a row.
That's definitely one of my best quotes for sure. Like that, man. And I read too. I'm just gonna completely skip ahead. I read when I was searching for like fun facts and trivia and stuff. I read that like the person that was reading the script for the first time like got to that point where he's like in a row, and he laughed so hard he said he didn't like even read the rest. He was just like, all right, we need to get this movie made. Which makes sense because it sent me when I heard that.
Can you
Are you
even hear
good?
me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. My microphone just like went out. So
Oh no.
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Like dead?
No, it's I just can't hear anything out of my headphones.
Oh,
So that's okay.
you can't hear me, but I can hear you.
Yeah, that's
I'm talking
exactly
so
how
much
it's
shit.
going. Let's see if I can fix this. It's dead. I don't know what happened. Oh well.
Womp womp.
Womp womp is right. Anyway, even though we have a minor inconvenience there. Okay, so everybody, we got some Veronica lovers. Wait, we like Veronica more than Caitlin. Yeah,
For
we like
sure.
Veronica more than Caitlin. Caitlin sucks.
Yeah, Caitlin's not good.
Yeah, she's not great at all. I love that conversation, and I don't know if you like this. My next thing, it kind of blends into that. It is the snowballing the
Snowballing.
snowballing thing, which gets to the 37 dicks thing, where we learn what snowballing is. And I don't know if you've ever heard the term snowballing until this movie. It is ridiculous.
First time.
But anyway, there's a random guy played by Scott Mosier in this called Willem. And we learn that Veronica used to snowball him, which I don't know if I'm going to go into detail about what that is.
Tell him to look it up. Google it.
Look up what snowballing is.
If you didn't watch.
Anyway, he's like, oh, you sucked that guy's dick. And then we learn that she's like, yeah, I only had sex with like 3 guys, but I've sucked 37 dicks, including yours. And Dante freaks out.
It was like so stereotypical male too, to be like that over the top about it after saying like he had slept with 12 women, and then she was like, well, I've only slept with 3 guys. And then like once the dicks came in, he just like, oh, that's not okay, even though I've slept with all these women, like,
Yeah.
and I'm still talking to my ex and like trying to get with her at the same time, and he has the audacity to freak out like that. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. But it did make for great comedy.
Oh yeah. Couple great lines in there with the in a row, and whenever she's leaving, try not to suck any dicks in the parking lot.
And then the guy starts walking after her. Hey, you, get back here. Oh my god.
I mean, this is like what, the first like 20 minutes of the movie or 10 minutes of the movie?
Yeah, it might be even like 10, 15.
Yeah.
So soon.
Which is great because this is what we're setting ourselves up for. These are the kind of conversations that we're going to get. Randall's not even in the picture at this point.
No, we haven't even met Randall yet.
We haven't even met Randall, which once Randall gets in this, it is insane. So what's your next scene?
Let's see. I guess after that, like we've already met Randall. I guess the next thing would be kind of like the hockey game, I guess, for me. I don't know. Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff in between, though, like with conversations with Randall and the Star Wars. The whole bit about like Return of the Jedi was really good.
That's my next scene. Or I have Jay and Silent, the introduction of Jay and Silent Bob, and then Return of the Jedi conversation are next. And the only reason I put Jay and Silent Bob is because there's not like a good scene with Jay and Silent. There are like all these little like minute intervals.
Yeah, little wonderful snippets, especially
But
like when they're dancing. Oh man,
yes,
I love that.
And it's I want to point out the Jay and Silent Bob of it all, just because this is the introduction of these two characters that become so much bigger than this little Clerks movie is. And I don't know why. I mean, obviously Jason Mewes is hilarious in this role, and the role was written for him, and because he was a friend of Kevin Smith's as well, and this is just how he acts in real life. And whether it's
Just
the
be
dance,
yourself.
just selling weed, smoking weed, being just crude as all get out. Maybe having feelings for Kevin Smith, or maybe having feelings for Silent Bob. I mean, he has a couple scenes. The Russian metal, his cousin,
Yeah.
the Russian metal singer, who I love. We get
Berserker. Yeah, that's what it was.
the dancing, the I eat cock thing, just great stuff from Jay and Silent Bob. And Silent Bob just kind of sits there and does whatever. I love when Silent Bob starts dancing, though.
Yeah, when he comes in, yeah, that was super
It's
cool.
pretty good. It's pretty great.
You could like chop that up and loop it. That'd be a good one.
I love that. Yeah, the hockey game, is that before the Return of the Jedi thing?
I think that was after.
After?
Yeah, there was some other random stuff there along the way, like the whole thing about the jizz moppers and the guy looking for the perfect egg carton and the milkmaids. All that stuff was kind of just like thrown in there.
This movie is just made up of, I'm pretty sure, like group chats from guys. Like that's what the equivalent would be. Like, just we're talking about jizz moppers, we're talking about Return of the Jedi, we're talking about the egg guy. He was a guidance counselor.
Yeah, like
it's all over the place. Just the weirdest conversations ever. The hockey game is an interesting one because I feel like it splits, like we get out of the store at least.
Yeah.
For a little bit, and we actually go outside of this and go to the roof of it. I don't know if it does much for the movie. The hockey is weird because I feel like there's not a lot of room to have a hockey game on top of that roof.
Yeah, it did. It seemed like they were like in like 10 feet of space, like trying to play a game. That's why I put it down, because it was like all this like hype and build up. He was talking about, oh, I got to play the game at 2, like can't miss the game. And then you get up there and it's just like 3 or 4 dudes, like not even all of them in equipment, just like messing around. So it was just funny that like it was built up into this big thing. Like that just kind of accents his life. That's like there's not much going on. So this like pickup hockey game, barely even, is like really important in his life.
Yes,
that's how much is happening. So,
and it's amazing to, like, yeah, I think you made a good point. Like, this is the thing that he cared about so much today, that he couldn't come into work, and that he really had to, that he closed the store for, that he let people take Gatorades for. Like, it's amazing. I mean, obviously, if you're in a job that you hate and you don't want to be there, you don't give a shit about this kind of stuff. But he makes such a big, that is the thing about Dante, is that he makes such a big deal out of everything. And like, woe is me, and like the world is out to get me. And I get it. I've been there. But God, Dante is the most annoying character.
Yeah, he's super annoying. It's hard to feel any sort of like sympathy towards him at all, just because like I know we both been in like customer service, and yeah, you see all sorts of crazy shit come through, which was very well portrayed in the movie, just like
Mm-hmm.
taking it to the most extreme examples they could think of. But yeah, like ultimately, and Randall kind of checks him later on about like, man, this is a lot of you creating this. So,
And I think
anyways,
about it, and that is probably one of the better parts of this movie is the end part when he does get hit. That's actually one of my last scene, but I think that Dante is at his best when he is just having a conversation and he's not like backed into a corner. Like, because
yeah,
one of my favorite scenes, and I was watching with Alyssa. Alyssa didn't like it as much as I did because she felt like it was just, it's whatever. People can not like certain scenes. That's the fine. But like when he's painting Veronica's nails and leaves the money up on the counter and everything,
oh
and
yeah,
like they're just talking. I was like, no, that felt natural to me. That felt like they were like, I don't know, that he actually liked his girlfriend and that they're having a normal conversation that they would have. And then it becomes volatile whenever they start talking about blowing guys and 37 dicks. And then once he realizes that he's not special, it kind of flips him on his head. I even think in the Return of the Jedi private like contractors, like he's having a normal conversation that he would have with Randall on a daily basis.
yeah,
Which I do like this, and I do appreciate the private contractor coming in and really clearing the air there about what would have happened to those private. They understand the risk.
yeah. It's on them. It was so crucial that he was in the store at that moment. Otherwise, whew,
Does that even work? Otherwise,
devastating.
does Dante freak out on him and talk about how um, Empire's the superior movie? I mean, Empire is the
Maybe.
superior movie, but he's not wrong.
Is it?
I think so. We can sit here and talk about Star Wars if you want to do that for the rest
You
of the.
want to just pivot to Star Wars?
Yes,
All right.
100%.
Obviously, Clone Wars is the best.
Obviously, The Rise of Skywalker is the best movie ever.
Ooh, yeah. Good point. Good point.
Makes complete sense.
Nailed
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm kidding, guys. We're not going to talk about Star
Please don't
Wars.
cancel me.
Cancel me. I don't care.
Cancel me. I don't care. It's just a silly opinion.
It's just my opinion. Stream is ruined. Um,
He would say that.
he would say that. You're right. So after the private contractors conversation, which is a very short scene, again, this is all this movie is just little. It's almost
Yeah.
like
Boom,
skits.
boom, boom, boom.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think that's when he goes to his ex-girlfriend's funeral and Randall pushes over the.
Yeah. I wish we could have seen that. Maybe they couldn't pull that off with the budget that they had, but I mean, it was still pretty good. But um, I just man, my mind immediately went to Tim Robinson, um, and the was it corn cob where the
Oh yeah,
bodies
Corn
are
Cob
falling out of
TV.
the coffins.
This was definitely an episode of Corn Cob TV. Pop
Yeah,
and flop.
yeah,
Um, we do have some things that happen in between this. I don't have them. I have them in other scenes or other categories that we're going to talk about that happen after this.
after
Like
the wake.
yeah, after the wake, I think we get introduced to Caitlin and
Oh yeah,
a couple other things.
yeah. She just like shows up right after they have that whole thing about the ticket he got for Randall selling the little girls cigarettes. I was wondering if that was going to come back around because like when that just happened so casually for like 10 seconds and then I was like, huh, maybe that's just a bit. I
Yeah,
don't know because
I
everybody was
hate.
asking for cigarettes. I feel like it was 95% of the people that came in
Yeah,
cigarettes. So I don't know, makes sense.
she's a 4-year-old. Why not?
She probably smokes, right?
Probably.
The
She looked like
90s.
she knew what she was doing.
She took them.
She took
Where's the
them.
liability on her part?
Exactly. I think Randall hands her matches too.
Oh, does he?
I think he hands whenever he hands anybody cigarettes, he hands them a pack of matches too. So she has a lighter. She knows what she's doing.
Probably. Yeah. This is not her first rodeo. Come on.
What's your
Where's her
next scene?
find? Let's see. Yeah, I guess next would be like Caitlyn getting there, and then the whole craziness that happens after that. Um, which I don't. It was like kind of funny, but I think that was my least favorite of the comedy in the movie. It
Oh
was
yeah.
just like out of nowhere. It was kind of funny that because I had forgotten about that guy completely, even though it was pretty obvious that he like. I thought that was the bit, like that he just went back there to, pleasure himself in their store bathroom.
Yeah.
I didn't think that he was still around and dead back there. But yeah, the whole Caitlyn is just the worst because like who does that? Who just goes into the bathroom and is like, oh, he's not saying anything. This is for me.
This is definitely
Let's
done
do this.
today.
I'll do all the work. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
what in the world?
Yeah, that one shows up in my my other categories.
She wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wild. Yeah, Caitlyn is something special. But this leads to that leads to Caitlyn getting taken away. She's like catatonic essentially, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of when Randall and Dante fight after she leaves and everything. I think Veronica comes back at some point and finds out about. Oh, Randall tells Veronica
thinking
about
he's
Caitlyn.
helping. Yeah.
Thinking that this is he's gonna, and then she basically breaks up with Dante. Dante tries to, smooth things over, doesn't work, and then Dante and Randall physically fight in the store. You see them rolling around and throwing bags of chips at each other, and it's great. But I love the makeup. Like I love him fighting with and telling him what for, and being like, "You're not, you chose to do this. You chose to wake up. You chose to close the store. All these things are on you. You chose to talk to Caitlyn and not be with your girlfriend, Veronica. You're a piece of shit, basically." And that's some of my favorite moments is Randall kind of giving it to him. And then they end up making up in the end and just be like, "Hey, you working tomorrow?" "Yeah, I'm working tomorrow."
Same shit, different day. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I did really like the ending, the way that it kind of got to that point. And I think it ended well. Like just kind of like end of the day, hell of a day, shut her down, and that's the end.
And I think anybody that's been in retail or in a customer service industry has felt that, has worked like a double shift and had to open and close throughout the day. And it just, everything boils to that point. Even if you don't have two girls that are fighting over you or stoners outside like, this is just a culmination of everything that is about the service industry and customer service. It's a good way to end a movie like this, I think.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you on one of those jobs?
Me personally?
Yeah. Like worst customer experience.
I did catch a girl performing oral on a guy in a restaurant bathroom one time.
Is that
not like saw, but enough evidence to know, and I had to kick them out. So that was probably one of the worst. It was not Mazio's. It was a sandwich company
That's great. Fuck Witch Witch. It was Witch Witch. There's like 4 of them left in the country. Fuck 'em.
One in Lexington, if you're ever passing through.
I saw
Wagyu
it.
patty still slaps.
I saw it. It wasn't open the entire time we were there. It was crazy. All right, we've got a couple people in the comments. Spencer said he had someone shit all over the walls and floor of the theater bathroom, and he walked out and clocked out. Alyssa had somebody hit her with a shopping cart on purpose.
Jeez.
She was working. I'm trying to think of the worst things that's ever happened to me. I don't know. I think people are just genuinely nice to me all the time. My worst customer experience, was on a phone call with people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when I worked for a symphony orchestra, people would call in demanding things, and I slammed the phone down on them, and then they called back and were like, I heard you slam the phone down. Get me your manager. It was good.
And you said, nope, slam again.
I said slam.
Yeah,
no.
Worst.
I asked this question and I didn't even have a good answer for it. I feel bad. Other than like
Staples, it had to be something at Staples.
No, man, Staples was hilarious because we just didn't care that much. Our store was it was low secure. Like we didn't have cameras in the store, so like we knew that people stole stuff all the time. People were huffing those air can things.
Oh yeah,
they would come in and buy those things by the dozen. It was nuts. Yeah, it was great. Some of those things were just really great.
What do they call that when you're? Is that the same as Whippets or no?
Yeah, it's essentially Whippets.
It's essentially Whippets.
Yeah, that's what
Staples brand Whippets.
Staples brand Whippets, and these people were huffing them, man.
Good times.
They smelled terrible too. The only other thing I can think when I worked at Witch Witch myself is that this like not healthy family came in and they ordered their child, a small child who was also not a very healthy child, the biggest sandwich I've ever seen in my entire life. Like it was like a triple wicked or something.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we say child, what are we?
I'm saying like younger than like 7 or 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that made me really bummed out.
Yeah, that's too much food for an adult.
Oh, it was like
triple wicked.
I think it was a triple wicked. It was crazy. A wicked for anybody that has no idea about which is like the most meat you can possibly get.
Them poor arteries.
Yeah, I just felt so bad for that kid, but they felt like they were being good parents. Whatever, I don't care.
That kid's probably thriving wherever he is. Shout out to which kid.
It's probably Elon Musk right now, you know.
Probably, most definitely, actually.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, who's your favorite character in this?
Okay, so I think Veronica is really the only like likable character.
Okay.
Overall, I'm talking about just apart from
likable. Yeah.
Actual like likable. But I think Randall might be my favorite character. Even though I didn't really like him, he was just like no shits given about everything. Just did whatever he wanted.
Yes, I think Randall's the best. And really makes the movie. Like if the movie was, I don't know if this movie is as good if it's just about Randall. Like you need Dante in there to be his shitty little Dante self.
Yeah.
So that you can have Randall. They're like a good counterbalance of each other. Because he is so extremely just volatile, and then Dante is so extremely just bitchy.
Yeah.
So it just kind of works. Do you have a scene stealer?
No, I don't think I do for this one.
That's okay.
So one of the things that did irritate me a lot is I felt like a lot of the dialogue delivery was not very good.
Oh yeah.
A lot of it felt like very like I'm trying to remember these lines as I'm saying them. Which, you know, I get it. These are not like established actors, and like this is a low budget, like first go at it kind of thing. So that's fine. Like I can get over that. But it really did, like, when I was just like trying to think about like who did good acting in this, like, is Dante the best actor in this?
That's
Maybe.
what I think. I think the best acting comes from Randall, Dante, and Veronica.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
honestly,
Veronica is good too.
And
I wish
honestly, Caitlin's not that bad for the brief amount of time that she's in the
for
movie.
the 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah. But
But
those are the best.
But yeah, I didn't really. There wasn't any. I mean, I liked when Jay and Silent Bob were on screen, but it was just like always so quick, you know. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know if I could call them scene stealers or not.
I put Jay as my scene stealer just because.
Yeah, I get it.
God, he has some moments in this movie that just have me dying, and I think we'll go over some of them if we're talking about quotes, because there's a lot of quotes in this movie. So let's move on to quotes and
all right, let's
see what you got. You've already had a couple mentioned. You know, I'm not even supposed to be here today as the classic Clerks line.
Repeat.
Yeah, over and over.
What was the other thing he kept saying? Oh, what next? Yeah, he kept saying what next when things were happening. Like, my life is so horrible. Yeah, we mentioned In a Row, which I think might have been my just sent me to the moon moment. This job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking customers from Randall.
And that's something like such a good line that I've said in my past, like not even like as a worker in that field, like, yeah, I've been like, man, this would be so great if nobody came in today.
If I was just vibing and not having to deal with people. Yeah, it'd be great.
I say that at my current job sometimes.
Every day.
Every day.
All right, you go.
Let's see. That was actually mine. Okay, my J moment. This is the thing that made me
the J moment. All right.
My favorite J moment is Silent Bob is not saying anything at all. And I think Jay is like hitting on women or catcalling or doing whatever Jay is doing. And then he goes, yeah, Silent Bob, you're a rude motherfucker. You know that? But you're cute as hell. I could go down on you, suck you, line up 3 other guys, make like a circus seal. And he starts, and then he like backs up real quick because somebody yells something at him. He's like, "Ooh, you effing," or you effing. He says the F word there. He's like, "I hate guys. I love women." I just love it so much. It's
he delivered that really well too.
I love women. What's yours?
Let's see. I got a couple of random ones in here. Dante at one point tells Randall he's a danger to both the dead and the living. I thought that was really funny. And I have one from Caitlin when she was like propositioning Dante about like having a date or whatever. She said, "I'm offering you my body and you're offering me semantics." When he was like countering her.
That's a good line. I love that. Dante says, "You hate people," and Randall responds with, "But I love gatherings." Isn't it ironic? Just Randall being a contrarian. Randall also, my mom's been fucking a dead guy for 30 years. I call him Dad.
That one was very funny. Let's see. Oh, the random lady that was in there for the egg guy she was like explaining this whole condition or whatever to them, and at the end of that whole thing she said, "It's important to have a job that makes a difference, boys. That's why I manually masturbate caged animals for artificial insemination." And then she did like a little like salute and left the store.
Just random people throughout this. Olaf, who's the Russian singer or whatever.
Berserker.
My love for you is like a truck berserker. Would you like some making fuck berserker? And And then he says, my love for you is like a ticking clock, berserker. Would you like to suck my cock, berserker? Classic.
Classic. That song's got to be out there somewhere, right?
Oh my, it is. I definitely found it somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Um,
Let's see. I think. Towards the end when Dante and Randall are talking, Dante says, "I'm not the kind of person who disrupts things just so I can shit comfortably." When he's talking about like not wanting to ruffle the feathers with his status or whatever.
Randall says, people say crazy shit during sex. One time I called this girl mom.
That's weird. You couldn't even say mommy. Like that's a little bit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Better. Mom is weird. I think I just have one other one. Randall said to Dante, "Melodrama coming from you seems about as natural as an oral bowel movement."
Yes. Anything coming from Dante is an oral bowel movement. I have two more from Jay. He says, "I don't care if she's my cousin or not. I'm going to knock those boots again tonight." He's so awful. Then Jay, I think this is like Jay and Silent Bob, whenever they're in the store and they're giving their last like talk to Dante. Jay's trying to give him some advice. He said, "I had some girlfriends too, but all they wanted from me is weed and shit. My grandmother used to say, what's a better, fucking a good plate with nothing on it? No, wait, I fucked up. What's a good plate with nothing on it?" I just love that. And then, of course, Silent Bob saying the only things that he says in this movie about no girl's ever brought me lasagna at work before. That's, basically like, hey, man, you had it good.
Yeah.
Why would you upset the status quo there? So.
Yeah, his like one line was very good.
Which is a recurring theme in all of Kevin Smith's movies when Silent Bob's in there is he always gets one line and it's like the line.
Yeah. Which is a cool way to do a character. I don't think that's been done before that I know of. That quote that you just said from Jay, though, that was my like biggest laugh moment of the whole movie when he's talking about when he screws it up. When he screwed up the quote, I lost it. He's like, "You fucking a good plate." Wait, I fucked it up. And then he like ends that too. He's like, Dante's like meaning, and he's like, "I don't know, she was senile and shit." That's like the end of that quote. It's like that fake moment of enlightenment. He's like, "I don't
know." Speaking of biggest laughs, cries, scares, or thrill, what is you said this was your biggest laugh?
Yeah, that quote when Jay delivers that was when I laughed the hardest. Runner up was the In a Row for sure.
In a Row.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find mine right now. I'm trying to find it so that I can say it properly. But it is when Randall is dealing with the customer, he's ordering movies, and the lady comes up to him and wants the kids movie, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll get you." And then
and he just strings all those like porn movies.
I only wanted to list a couple because they are some pretty vulgar stuff.
Yeah,
we don't say heinous shit on here.
While you're looking that up, one of the things I saw, I didn't write this down for the fun facts, but I did see that like he refused to like actually read that list in front of that lady and kid when they were filming.
I love
like he did it separately, and then they filmed the lady reacting to it from someone else reading it, which I thought was pretty funny.
I can't find it. I found it yesterday and I can't find it. I'm not giving it in full. Not giving it in full because it is just a list of just depraved shit that only a person like Randall could give. It makes me happy though that the guy that plays Randall isn't like that at all.
Yeah, he
has enough sense in him to not want to read it in front of a sweet old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll save that for 52 slash after dark.
After Dark.
You don't want to know what happens after dark. I can't.
What if I just turn the lights out? Can you read it then?
If I'd close my eyes, I'll read it. Oh well, that's one of my favorite moments. And then Jay hitting on Silent Bob. That's my other laugh out loud moment. All right, what's the most fucked up, ridiculous scene?
I mean, it's got to be the necrophilia, right?
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
It's not great. Not, definitely not as funny as I used to think that was. Again, if this hits you at a certain age range, that's a lot funnier to you than it is now. It's so uncomfortable. And it gets even more uncomfortable like once Randall or Dante shows up. And like she's like, "Oh, you were great," and everything. And he's like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." And then like chaos ensues once they figure it out. And oh yeah, that dead guy back there. It's just it's ridiculous because it could never happen. Like, not that somebody's never done this before or anything, but like you just go back there after Randall has told you that Dante left the store to go get ready for his date. You go back there to the bathroom. You assume that this guy who is larger than your boyfriend is your boyfriend and just do your thing. Like, it's just so insane. Like, nobody would ever
and
do
like
that.
Okay, so is he like on the ground? Like she like trips over?
That's what I'm thinking.
Or
like,
is
there's
he
no
sitting
other
on the
way.
toilet? Like what? How do you discover it? And then how do you like just it doesn't make any sense. I think was my biggest problem with it, aside
Yes.
from just being like fucking weird.
It is a crazy moment. No,
Yeah.
I'm not suspending my belief for a movie that is about something like this. Like, no, I'm not suspending my belief.
Just imagine it was a full court hockey game on the roof, bro. Suspend your belief.
Suspend your belief. God, that'd
Come
be
on,
like
man.
playing a hockey game in this room. That's how big this is.
You want to go? Slapshot Regatta?
Slapshot Regatta right now, please. All right, best music moment.
I really like when Jay and Silent Bob are dancing with like that, like track hip hop or whatever it was that was playing. That was really cool. But man, the like editing that they did of the Chewbacca song when they're talking about the Star Wars was like perfect. Like the lyrics were coming in right in the lulls of the conversation. So I think that one was like my overall favorite.
Yeah, that's the best song. I think it's the song I think of every time, other than Berserker, that guy sings.
Berserker. Yeah, we got to count Berserker since it's a real song.
That song, the Chewbacca song, is by a band called Supernova. So if anybody wants to look that up later and have Chewbacca, that's so good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, now it's time for our finally an edition of Fuck, Marry, Kill that we can play. I haven't played it in a while because I haven't felt like I've had good ones. Just gonna put some in the chat here for it, just so we get some emotes in here.
Get some hype. Get some hype.
Get some hype. All right, your choices are Veronica, Caitlin, Randall.
I was wondering who that third one was going to be.
These are the three characters that are in love with Dante.
Okay.
So, I thought that was a good one.
Dang. So I think Mary is Veronica. I think that one's pretty obvious. But the other two, they both seem wild, so that could go for a good F either way. Which one do I hate more? I think Caitlin just seems like dumber. The fact that she would just like bone up on a dead guy, no questions asked. So we're gonna go kill Caitlin. F Randall. final answer.
Okay. I think I'm going to kill Caitlyn.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to switch. I'm going to marry Randall.
You're gonna marry Randall?
Yeah. And I'm going to fuck Veronica. And the reason I'm marrying Randall is
Let's hear it.
because he's loyal
Okay.
and he's not afraid to tell you how it is.
Okay.
But he's also with you he's riding with you no matter what. Even as much of a bitch as you're acting, he's with you.
Nah, bro, lasagna.
I mean,
You forgot about
lasagna's good. I mean, 37. You're in for a good time.
Lasagna,
She
man.
snowballs, bro.
Yeah. I can't believe. Yeah, I'm surprised that after you hearing about the snowball that you're still going with Randall.
She's into it. Whatever. She's in for a good time. Who knows?
Yeah, but good time for a long time. She's about commitment, man.
That's true. That's true.
She'll switch schools for me.
It's really tough.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think it is. I think to your point, they're both like seem to be like very intensely loyal.
I just think about what I know about Clerks 2 and what I know about Clerks 3, which we're not talking about Clerks 2.
Oh, you can't use future information to decide. No way.
But I mean, Randall and Dante are forever, you know?
But Veronica could have been forever if Randall wouldn't have ruined it.
Nah,
Sabotage.
Veronica got smart and got the hell out of there.
True.
She didn't need to be a part of that that toxic Dante.
We didn't get to see the lasagna either, so that could actually play a factor.
Could have been bad. I don't think I'm a big lasagna fan.
Ooh.
I just think that I've had some really bad lasagna over the last 20 years, and it's just not done it for me.
Nah, I'm more like Garfield.
I have these family reunions, and people always bring lasagna to the potluck, and it's always cold and it's gross.
Oh.
And it ruins lasagna for me. And then Stouffer's, you ever had a Stouffer's frozen lasagna?
Nah,
it's just not good. I've just had bad lasagnas.
Okay. That's fair. But
It's
good lasagna.
Too much. If I need somebody to make me a good lasagna, then.
All right, chat, you heard the call. First person to deliver a good lasagna to Snowball over here.
Don't snowball on my parade.
What movie's playing behind you?
Empire Records.
Okay.
I don't have Clerks on VHS, so I'm sorry.
That's fine. I just
You just like to know. You like to know who gave the best. Who gave the best performance in this movie?
Wait, best performance?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dante ? I don't know.
So Brian O'Halloran.
Yeah, he seemed like most believable, I guess, as an actor, even though I didn't really like his character.
Yeah, I went with Jeff Anderson, who plays Dante, or Randall. I mean, I think their names should be switched.
You think he should be?
Randall should be Dante, and Dante should be Randall.
No,
Okay.
I disagree.
Okay.
I like where they're at.
Okay. Did you do a recast of these? I did not.
I struggled. I have one.
Okay.
For 24, I think for Randall, Kieran Culkin.
Okay, I like that.
Kind of wild and crazy. Will say crazy shit all the time.
He says so many fucked up things in succession.
Yeah, I've seen secondhand. I haven't watched through Succession, but I've seen several scenes where he's just saying all sorts of crazy stuff. So I feel like he would be kind of the voice too. I feel like the guy that plays Randall sounds almost like a Culkin already.
Yes.
So
I agree. No, I like that. That's a really good one. The trouble with this movie and recasting it is it's all these people are so young in it, and it was this
and
is
who are they? At this
point.
Who
are they? It's a movie in a bottle. I took all my friends. It would be you and me and Spencer and Alyssa and all of my friends making a movie and not hearing about any of us ever again.
Let's do it.
Except for Kevin Smith, Kieran Culkin and Scott Pilgrim, same energy. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing. Those little quips from Beyond. I like that. All right, fun fact time.
Fun fact time.
I tried to cut as many as I could because there's a lot of fun facts.
Yeah, there was.
Did
you see Kevin Smith loves Jaws?
Who doesn't love Jaws?
From they even had like the little salsa shark in there for you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because Jaws is so good. Jaws is so good. And the only person that doesn't like it is Spencer's wife, and she's wrong.
Oh.
That's the only time I'll fight somebody on
about Jaws.
Is Jaws. It's been brought up too many times. I will fight people about Jaws. So the reason why Randall gets all the best lines is because Kevin Smith originally cast himself as Randall. So that's why Randall gets the best stuff.
Nice. And then just Curveball decided to
be silent, make himself a Silent Bob.
Just wanted to be the silent deliverer of the profound line.
Exactly. Kevin Smith worked in the store. He worked at the Quick Stop where they shot the film. They shot for 21 straight nights. He'd clock in at 6, finish at 11 p.m., and then shoot the movie until 4 a.m., grab a couple hours of sleep, and then go back to work.
I saw that, which is
crazy.
The wildest 3 weeks. Like, I can't imagine that being a life for 3 weeks.
Clerks is loosely based on the Divine Comedy by Dante, hence the name of the protagonist, Dante. And there are 9 breaks in the movie to represent the 9 rings of hell. This is the part of the movie that I did not think worked for me or was interesting at all. Like the breaks with the words and everything.
Yeah, I didn't really reflect much on like if those segments matched up with the titles or anything like that. I did see what you mentioned though about the 9 rings, so I'd be interested to know, like, going back if that matches up even more closely with the Divine Comedy. Like, are those names like the same as the 9 circles, or?
I have no idea. I've never read Dante's Inferno, so
me neither.
We're not cultured, I guess. But I just never felt like, even though like some of the words that I did like recognize and be like, I just never felt like it really matched up with.
It was necessary, yeah. Same. It almost, yeah. It
felt like it was trying to be smarter than it was.
Maybe, yeah.
And I was like, you don't need that, even if you're just trying to take like a little break in the movie. I don't feel like it really lent anything towards it at all. So
maybe we just need to take a deeper dive, though. Maybe we need to get real literary with it.
I refuse.
Nah. What's the guy's name? The guy who did the review. Nah.
So I'm thinking so hard about the nail polish scene now, and it does very closely match the Inferno.
Oh.
I don't get it. Maybe I'm just not.
Maybe there's more here than what I am aware of.
I just think it's funny.
Brilliant?
No, it's not. I think this movie is just a lot of funny lines. Spencer,
imagine not getting it, chat says.
You're more than welcome to enlighten us, but you're wrong. What's the next thing we've got here? Jason Mewes, Jay, was so camera shy that during the dance scene with him and Kevin Smith, everyone had to leave and go into the video store. And he just left the camera rolling that whole time.
That's so funny.
He raised $27,000 by selling off his comic book collection and used $3,000 from his parents, and he maxed out a bunch of credit cards. That's how he got the money.
Yeah, I saw. Well, it was kind of inconclusive. I couldn't find the actual details of the comics, but it seemed like he has gained most of that collection back at least after the success. But it did say most of the collection, so I'm wondering if like he missed out on something like that he can't find again. That would
But
be the one
I
question
mean,
I would ask Kevin Smith if I met him right now.
but I mean, he's so rich now that he could
He could
buy
probably
that. He
buy
could
it, yeah, but
find it, buy
maybe it
it.
can't be found. You know,
I guess you're
maybe
true.
it disappeared into the void.
So the see, not all of the cards though. So we've got vilification,
Okay,
which is an act of making cruel and insulting statements about a person. So that is the where
that
they're
was an
all
early
pegging.
one.
That was the first one. That's when
Okay,
they're all pegging him with the cigarettes and stuff. Syntax is the arrangement of something in a methodical manner. I don't know what was happening during that one. Vagary is an erratic or peculiar modification, act, or thought. Purgation is an act of getting rid of something disagreeable, flawed, or unsatisfactory. An all-around malaise, an all-around feeling of bad health or illness. Harbinger is a person that predicts the future. Uh, pers- uh, perspicacity. I don't know how to say this. Perspicacity, cackety, Cassidy,
yakety yak.
yakety yak. Which is the
Chat's gonna flame me for that,
I
by the
know,
way.
I don't give a shit. The intensity of judgment or observation, paradigm, typical example of something. There's so many of these. Are there 9?
I was about to say it kind of seemed
This
like there
sounds
was
like
more
there's a
than that.
lot more than 9.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's
Ooh,
14.
so
Get
already
fucked. Get fucked.
myth busted.
Myth
Moving on.
busted. Yeah. Now we can't even do that. Read the book. I'm not reading no book written by some
The
Italian
Clerks
dude
book.
about Clerks. I'll read a book on Clerks. I ain't reading no book about hell. We live in it, bro. RST and RST Video stands for Rajiv, Sarla, and Tarlokin. These are the first names of the son, mother, and father who owned and still own the video store and the Quick Stop. Fun
Family
stuff.
owned and operated.
Yeah. The Clerks logo is made out of letters cut from various magazines and food items. The C is Cosmo. The L is from Life. The E is from Rolling Stone. The R is from Ruffles potato chips. The K is from a Clark bar. And the S is from a Goober's box.
Dang, I didn't even recognize that R from Ruffles. I should have.
Now I'm going to look at it, though, to see if it even, I guess it looks like a Ruffles. Yeah, I could see that.
Are we talking about Life the magazine or Life cereal?
I think it's Life series. No, it's Life magazine.
Okay.
That L is definitely Life magazine.
All right, all right.
The word fuck and its derivatives are said 91 times throughout the film.
Nice.
Not the worst we've ever seen.
No, definitely not.
Body
count?
A body count, I think it's 2. And one is the guy in the bathroom and his ex-girlfriend.
Nice.
Any other fun facts that you have?
Yeah, I got a couple that you didn't mention. The whole like anti-smoking thing at the very beginning with the Chuli's gum guy apparently was Kevin Smith's actual like viewpoint on smoking when he wrote the script or the screenplay, and by the end of filming he was smoking 2 packs a day. So that's how that goes, which I'm surprised that he wasn't already smoking working at a convenience store like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. But good on him.
Hold
and
strong.
then I had one more. Oh no, 2 more. The original title was called Inconvenience, which I kind of like. but then it got changed to Rude Clerks before it was ultimately changed to Clerks. And there is a extra deleted footage that would have been a different ending, where after like they close up the shop, Robert comes into the store and shoots Dante, and that's how it ends. Which I'm glad that they cut that. I think this ending is better than that. I went back and like watched it on YouTube, and it's like
I've
glad
seen
they
it
didn't end
before
like that.
too. Although I mean, it's nice that Dante would have been killed.
You just want Dante to die, but that's not how the movie needs to end. Though.
No, you're right.
He needs to keep suffering.
He needs to keep suffering, just like somebody in hell in Dante's Inferno. He needs to go through the 14 rooms of hell.
He's not even supposed to be there.
I'm not even supposed to be here. All right, like a fine wine and dish, if you could pair this movie with another movie for a double feature, what would you choose?
I've got a couple. Well, you've actually already mentioned one for like a low budget, do a lot with a very little. El Mariachi came to mind. I think that those are kind of the same avenue. Office Space came to mind too, just like funny and people not wanting to do their job. And then the other one I put down for like a kind of like buddy comedy was Wayne's World.
No, I like that. That's good. You took one of mine with Office Space. Empire Records I have going behind me again. It's just about young Gen X kids that work at a record store, and it's all in the day of a life and everything. I also said Waiting. That movie about the day in the life of like servers.
Oh,
Reynolds,
is that Dane Cook?
Ryan Reynolds, James, or yes, Dane Cook.
Dane Cook, Ryan. Okay, yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
What's his guy from Barbarian? Justin Long. He's in
Justin Long. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like that's a good one too.
Yeah, raunchy. Yeah.
Obviously, you can watch, Mallrats or any of the Clerks 2, 3. Those would obviously go along with these movies as well. So, anything else?
Dogma, basically same movie, right?
Yeah, pretty much. If you had to give it a rewatchability rating out of 5, what would you give it?
I think it is pretty rewatchable. So I said 3.5.
I gave it 5 stars. I'd rewatch this movie any day.
5-star on rewatch. Yeah. Nice.
Now, overall star rating, what did you give it?
3.
I gave it a 3. And I think I gave it a high, like 3 is being generous.
I think it's comedies are hard because like there's a lot of like humor that cannot age well. I think most of this, like, there's obviously some, problematic language, but for the most part, like, it's raunchy comedy. Like, it's still what it is today. So
I think and when I'm thinking about overall too, I'm thinking about like acting performances. I'm thinking about like shots with the camera. I'm thinking about how it looks as a whole. Like, one, it's impressive that he's able to film all this and have these like set pieces all in the quick stop and the video store, and get all these people together and shoot on the roof and all this stuff, like, is so impressive. But then like the acting, like we'll see with some of these people, obviously they're not actors. That's not about, that's not on them, but you can't say that somebody that's more skilled would deliver these lines better. Like they just would. And I think, like I said, some of what he's doing with like the title cards and stuff, I just don't always think matches up, or it's coming across as like wanting to be a smarter movie than it is. And I think some of the camera stuff like reminded me of stuff that I did in high school. And that's, especially like the way they shoot them running away from the wake and everything. Like trying to make it look like an action movie, but it looked like I shot for shot something that I did in high school. Kevin Smith's gotten much better, and it's great. But like, I think that is why I gave it a 3. You know,
Yeah,
I think the script is very funny. I think I laughed so many times during this movie, and the nostalgia for it and everything that Kevin Smith has done with this universe is huge. But that's why I went low.
yeah. Well, and I think too, like you're saying, consideration of like first time, and he's going the extra mile here to shoot this while he's not working, and like even came up with the reason why the shutters can't be open so he could film inside. Like just there's some little things that I think make it a little more mid than maybe what it should be for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I kind of just went with a 3. It may not be like a 3 movie, but I feel like it deserves a 3.
Yeah, but it's super rewatchable though. Like,
yeah,
if you played me clips from this movie and in certain spots, I'm sitting down and watching the rest of it because I know that the next funny thing is going to happen. The next funny thing is going to happen. I think the worst part of this movie is probably the least rewatchable is probably the last like 20 minutes of this movie, because that's when it gets real serious and nothing funny really happens.
Yeah.
It's too serious though. So
way too serious.
Way too serious. It needs to be funny end to end. Anyway, Joseph, you did it. You went through Clerks for the first time. I might add.
First time caller.
First time caller. Well, thank you for doing this. And I know you've been watching a lot of movies, so tell us what you've watched and if there's anything that you would recommend.
Yeah, I have watched a lot recently, so I'll just keep it to things that I would recommend and not some of the duds. It's been a while since I've been on, so I think you've talked about some of these maybe. Long Legs, I would say, if you're a horror person, is definitely worth seeing. There was also another horror movie that kind of came out around the same time a couple weeks ago called Oddity. Kind of flew under the radar a little bit more, but I thought it was very good. I think I might have even liked it a little bit more than Long Legs. I recently watched It Follows again because I heard that they're going to do another one, so trying to just prepare my mind for that. Another horror movie that's very good with the girl from Long Legs, I think, right? That's the same girl, isn't it?
Micah Monroe, yeah.
I also saw half of Cuckoo, which is another horror movie that's out right now.
Now there's
the
a
power
story.
went out in the theater, so I didn't get to see the second half.
Did you get your money back?
But I would recommend it on the first half, from what I've seen. So,
Hobbs.
And Deadpool and Wolverine's worth seeing if you like Deadpool's world. It was very funny. And Twisters was worth seeing if you like the first Twister. It's pretty much same formula.
Okay.
And the new Alien movie was good. I liked it a lot. Felt a lot truer to like the OG Alien in a lot of ways. And yeah, I thought Alvarez did a good job bringing that back. I did get some of the merchandise. I didn't get one of the buckets that I wanted, the popcorn buckets with like the face hugger around it, because it was sold out. But I got some other cool stuff. I even spent $20 on a green cocktail because I'm a sucker. Whatever.
It's the experience. That's all that matters. Yeah. And you love Alien. That's your favorite franchise.
That's my thing. So
yeah,
I was a little bit worried that it wasn't going to be good, but I mean, it wasn't fantastic, but it was good. It was. Yeah, it's worth seeing.
And it takes place in the timeline between Alien and Aliens, right?
I think so. Yeah. There was, man, and I just won't say it for anybody that's going to go see it. If you see it, we need to have a conversation about one thing.
Is it about a line?
It's about a character.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I've heard a little bit about it, not like spoiler stuff or anything, but I could probably guess what you're talking about. So
yeah,
maybe we'll talk about it soon.
What about you? What have you seen?
Dude, I've just been, I was on vacation all last week. It's not that I didn't watch any movies or anything, and I have already talked about some of those, but I've been going through these Coen Brothers movies, and I finally came across one that I had not seen before, which was Serious Man.
Serious Man?
A Serious Man is what it's
A
called.
Serious-
And it's on, I think it's on Max right now if you want to check it out or anything. But it is about this man, a Jewish man and his family, and everything that could go wrong for this man goes wrong. It's very much like a modern, well, not modern. It takes place in the late 60s, maybe early 70s. But it's like a modern retelling of Job, the story of Job.
Okay.
It's actually, I really enjoyed it. It's beautifully shot, and the acting is great. I felt like I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. It was very funny, but I felt like I was on the edge of my seat because I was like, what could possibly go wrong in this guy's life? That would, just shit on him even more. So it kept me in. And then, of course, like I said, I've been watching all the other Coen Brothers movies in order. Love True Grit, love Inside Llewyn Davis. And then I watched Take the Lead last night with Alyssa because she recommended it after we talked about Renaissance Man. So it was good. Little 2006 movie about teaching inner city kids how to dance ballroom. Antonio Banderas. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been watching, man. And then that's it.
That's it.
I haven't been able to go to the theater, so that's okay.
Boo, weird.
I know. But next week, I think we're all going to watch a movie that none of us have seen. I don't think. I might be, projecting that onto people. But next week, we're going to be talking about a movie called Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It's going to be our second Australian film this year. It is streaming for free on Tubi, Canopy, Hoopla, Freevee, whatever you got. It's one of those free places. I am off all next week. I'll be working, and I'll be gone on a special trip on the weekend. So we're going to have to do the stream in the middle of the week, the next week. So I think we're talking about Tuesday, maybe next week. So not next week, but the week following. So that's how we're going to handle things. If you have any questions, you can talk to me in the Discord. It's a great place to talk in the middle of the week about some of the movies that we're talking about. You can follow us on there and any other social media platforms. Drop us a follow here if you haven't already. And I want to thank everybody for following and for subscribing with their Prime subscriptions and everything, and normal subscriptions too. So thank you all again. Did I get everything?
I think that's it.
I think that we nailed it. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody. Oh, you want me to give a Tubi plug?
Yeah. Where can we watch the movie next week?
Tubi. It's the only place ever. Watch only movies from Tubi. If you want to see werewolves in bikinis from Mars, Tubi. That is the place to go. Classic place. But that's it for 52/1994 this week. We're watching Priscilla, Queen of the Desert next week. We'll see you there. Probably